We are in the Go book for Office 2013. We're in Chapter 3 of Excel, and we're on Project B. And this is the second video. We're starting on page 455. And I want to go to the Page Layout tab. And I want to go to the Themes group over here. And I want to click the Colors arrow, and I want to change the theme colors to orange. So let's choose our orange palette down here. And in the row header area, which would be these gray numbers over here, point to row 8 and drag down to select all the way through row 24. And I want to insert the same number of blank rows that I selected. So right click and choose insert, and that's how you insert a whole bunch of rows at one time. Now it says near row 25, click insert options. Near row 25. Okay, so here's this button here, and click on that and click clear formatting. So there's no formatting in this stuff. And now do a Control Home to go to the top of the document and select the range A5 to F5, A5 to F5 right here. And we're going to go to the Insert tab. We're going to insert a chart here. So go Insert, and we're going to do a line chart. And we're going to do line with markers. And that'll put a little dot or a diamond or some character on every data point, and I'll connect them with the lines. So we'll select that. And it automatically creates a little chart for me, and I want to drag this so its upper left corner is in A8, aligned under the T in the word percent. Boy, they're getting picky. Okay, so there we go, aligned under the T in the word percent. Point to the chart title here. You see the solid line appear around it, and now we can just start typing Pacifica Bay and hit enter. And press end to move to the end of spending. I'm sorry, it's supposed to be Pacifica Bay tourism spending. And then 2010 to 2014. Okay, and now we want to select the whole thing here, so now I've got the solid line again, and we want to change the font. Can I right click on that and get the font? Yes, I can. And I want to click bold, and the color is going to be black text 1. So style will be bold, and the color will be black text 1. And click on OK. And on the right side of the chart, I want to click on chart elements here, which will let me add or remove chart elements, and it should look pretty much like it does on the bottom of page 456, except oh, that's what I missed. They had us press enter here to get it on 2 lines. There we go. So go to the end of the word bay and press enter, and now it should look just like the bottom of page 456. And now we are on page 457. Formatting the axes in a line chart. Be sure the chart is still selected, that you can see the handles there and you can see the chart tool, so it's still selected. At the bottom of the chart, point to any of the numbers 1 through 5, okay, and that should display a screen tip. Does it display a screen tip? There we go. There, it's popping up. Right click and choose select data. And then on the right side of the select data source dialog box under horizontal category. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 is kind of meaningless. That's what you get kind of by default if you don't specify anything else. What we want those years. So the data that goes along this line here is part of my source data. And so what I need to do is I need to click on Edit over here, and I got to tell it where my years are, and the years are in the range B4 to F4. So let's go to B4 to F4 here, and click on OK. And I think we can click on OK again. Yes, we can. And now it has changed the numbers along the x-axis. Now we're on number 5 on page 458. With the horizontal axis still selected, which it is, click the Chart Elements button up here and point to axes and click on the arrow and choose More Options. And then I get this pane over here labeled Format Axis with a bunch of options. And under Axis Options, click Fill and Line, which is the paint bucket. And if necessary, click Line to expand the options. And click No Line. So that the line can become a grid line at the bottom of the chart when you format the plot area. Okay, so now there's no line at the bottom of my chart. I got to click up here someplace. There's no special line, it's just an ordinary grid line. It says, notice that the orange line does not display in the lower portion of the chart. And what he's going to have us do is something bad. He's going to have us get rid of the bottom part of the chart, which is not a good idea. It gives a misleading chart, but we will do it. So what I want to do is I want to right-click on the numbers over here and choose Format Axis. Usually when you're doing charts, you want to change something, right-click on it, and there'll usually be a Format option on the pop-up menu, and that's what you want. In the Format Axis pane under Bounds, the minimum is 0. And I want 4 million, and hit enter, and it redoes my chart. And now I've got a lot of numbers over here on the left, so that's getting a little bit cluttered. And so what I want to do is I want my major units. Right now this is 1 million, and I want it to be 2 million. So that's exponential notation. It means 1 to the 6th power, which is 1 million. But I want 2 million there, so type a 2 with 6 zeros after it, hit enter. And now our chart should match the picture on the middle of page 459. Now we're in activity 3.19. Near the top of the Format Axis pane over here, click the Axis Options arrow, and then click Chart Area, and then click Fill and Line, which is the paint bucket. And in the Format Chart area now, click Fill to expand the options, and then click Picture or Texture Option button, so right here. And in the Format Chart area pane, under Insert Picture From, click File. And we're going to get a File Open dialog box here. And I want to go to my desktop, and I want to go to CSC 110, and I want to go to W3. And the one I want is (3B). I'm in W. I want to be in E. 3B Surfers. There we go. Click on Insert. And this, by the way, is a pretty bad idea, putting a picture like that on the back of a chart, because it makes the chart hard to read. Now we're on page 460, number 4, and what we want to do now is we want to go to the Format Chart Area pane over here, click Fill to collapse the options, and then click Border to expand what's already expanded on mine. Click the solid line option, click the color arrow, and go to Theme Colors, And in the fifth column, pick the first one. Oh, it's already selected. Click the arrow again just to accept that, I guess. Set the width to 4 points. So I'm just bouncing on the up arrow a few times here. And this is the border around the chart. So you see I'm getting a border there now. And use the scroll bar on the right side of the format chart area, and use the scroll bar if necessary. Well, I don't need it because everything seems to fit. And now select the rounded corners checkbox, the bottom option here. And on the quick access toolbar, we want to save it, so just rounded my corners for me a little bit and click on save. Now we're in activity 3.20 on the bottom of page 460. To the right of the chart, if necessary, I want to click on the plus sign here, and I want to point to grid lines and point to the arrow over here and click more options. And that'll display the format major grid lines pane for me over here on the right. And it says, if necessary, scroll to the top. I'm already on the top, and click to expand line, and line is already expanded for me. Click the solid line option button. Click the color arrow, which is right here. And be sure that orange accent 1 is selected, and it is. Not sure why I needed to do that. And set the width to 1. Right now it's 0.75. We're going to do 1. And you see, if you're watching over here, you can see they got a little bit thicker. In the chart, point to any of the dollar values on the vertical axis. Right click and choose font. And I want the font style to be bold. And I want the font color to be black, not gray, black, text 1. And that's it. Click on OK. And now they're quite a bit easier to read. Use the same technique to format the font of the numbers down here. So click on them, right click on them, go to font, and we want that to be black, and we want it to be bold, and click on OK, and now they're black and bold. So that does make up a little bit for the fact that the picture is in the background there, making it hard to read, but I still would not do a picture for the background. We want to close the format access pane over here. We want to, it says deselect our chart and see the rounded corners and the thick orange line, and now click on save. And we want to go to our file. Whoops, I'm sorry. Let's try that again. I want to go to the page layout tab, and in the page setup group, I want to go to margins, and I want custom margins, and we're going to center this like we always do, horizontally. And we're going to go to the header and footer, and we're going to do a custom footer, and in the left side we're going to put the file name, which we always do. Click on OK, click on OK. And now we're going to skip 11, that does properties. Go to file here and do a print preview, and this is what it looks like, and this should match the picture on page 462 pretty well. And click on save. And that's the end of project 3B.